My name is Alisha, and I'm going to tell a story that happened to me in my past. So when I was really young, I did not have a great relationship with my family or my parents, but we still all lived together. And so for up to 18 years, I felt just not authentic. I felt not true to myself, and I felt like I always had to prove myself. A lot of the reasons did stem from that relationship with my family and just how they treated me as being the black sheep of the family. A different viewpoint from everyone. I learned things differently. I acted very differently, love arts and everything like that. So definitely just felt very different from everybody. Going into university, I had to pay for my own university. So I was like, you know what? I want to graduate university with no debt. So that was the goal. I wanted to be different. I was like, everybody's treating me different, so might as well be different. So I worked 2 jobs. I worked 2 full-time jobs, and then I also did school full-time while also pursuing multiple activities to further myself as an individual. It was honestly fantastic. I had the best time in university. I had a lot of fun, made a lot of friends, learned so much. Education's important. But also, at the same time, I was not taking care of myself because I always felt like, once again, I had to prove myself. I would not listen to myself or what my intuition was saying, and I was always listening to other people for their approval, mainly because I wasn't getting that growing up in my childhood. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the most to get it all. So when I had the perfect moment set up for myself, where essentially I had the perfect job lined up. I was gonna be a residence don, and this was in 3rd year. I had enough money saved up where I didn't have to actually work that year. I just had to be a residence don, had a serving job on the side, not too much, but everything was perfect for my career path that I wanted to take. I wanted to be a teacher at the time. During that point in time, I had to give a presentation just about diversity and just how important it is to treat other people with respect, because I was also the diversity representative. But I didn't notice a few problems coming up during that point in time. Because I was allowed to rest, I had to stop for a second and think and be with myself and talk to myself. And all the past trauma of not feeling enough and I'll do this and I'll do that to feel better. I mean, everything's set up. I don't have to do anything. I just have to basically live each and every day. But still, I just did not feel enough. So I felt very stressed out, extremely stressed out. And during this training to be this residence don, mind you, if I did it, once again, I would have graduated in 4 years, everything set up perfectly. But instead, I was learning so much about myself and mental health at the time, and just how anxiety is a thing and depression's a thing, but I had no idea growing up. I had African parents, and every time I told them, oh, dude, this happened, and it made me feel really sad, and I was sad for a long time, they're like, oh, just pray to God, you'll be okay, like, don't worry about it, like, oh, like, depression's not a real thing. So then growing up and being around other students, and they're like, I'm depressed, and like, people are like, oh yeah, like, that's okay, like, we could do I was so surprised and so shocked, and so I essentially had a little bit of a mental breakdown, just a little bit, where I was giving this important presentation, but also learning about myself at the exact same time, and it was just such a mind F. It really messed with my mind because I'm trying to teach people about being better, but I don't feel as good. I don't feel like I'm worthy of that proper treatment. So it stopped everything. I lost the job actually because I had the mental breakdown during a presentation, and I had to move back home with neglectful parents, so that was also not great. And all the dreams that I had set up, just gone in literally a second. And it was weird. No idea what to do with myself, because now I'm like, wow, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to go to school and do all these things, but I don't even know how to like function as like a person. You know, I don't know how to like have a conversation and not like think about all of my actions during that conversation. But I had to sit. I had to sit still. And it was an interesting experience because it definitely allowed important conversations within my family, because they're like, oh, you know, doctors came into the whole picture, and they're like, you know, this is what a lot of people actually do go through. Mental health is a thing. We need to learn how to take care of ourselves, because if you can't help yourself, how are you gonna help somebody else? So I had to really, really learn that. And so the next year that was coming up, I had no plans. I didn't know what to do, but I just knew I was gonna continue school. And an email comes up, and I don't often read like emails about like scholarship applications. I'm not really into that. I didn't really often think I would get scholarships. I mean, I applied for a bursary, but like scholarship's different, where you have to like do a resume, you have to get references, you have to show your grades, you have to write a essay as well. There's multiple things. But I was like, you know, a voice inside my head was like, you're not doing anything. Might as well try this. And the scholarship was to go to Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey, fully paid. They would pay for your boarding, your education, your food, and like flights, everything. And so I was like, you know what? Like, okay, I'll do it. I did the application. I wrote the resume, and I also wrote an essay that was like really true and dear to my heart, which was like very personal, which was learning is outside the classroom. You don't have to just learn in an academic setting. You can learn just by talking to someone on the street. And so that's why I feel like going to Turkey would be a great experience. And I killed it in the interview, and I got the scholarship, actually. So I was, thank you. So it was very crazy, and I think I needed that break, or that mental breakdown, however you want to put it, because a part of myself died, but it was the negative part. It was the connotation or notion of not feeling worthy. It was the feeling of always having to prove myself, feeling of like, I want to just be like everybody else and just fit in and just limit myself so small so I don't irritate other people. And that had to die. It had to go in order for a new version of myself to be reborn. I was not able to do presentations for a long time because it was very stressful for me, but I'm like now trying to do like more public speaking and like share my side of the story. So I definitely think having breaks and just believing in yourself really puts you in a different life path. So thank you. Thank you.